Yes, hello, hi.
Yes, hello, hey, and welcome to this full moon in Gemini presentation. Oh, that's my
Yes.
moon.
Yes.
As we know, I am like the most important, famous Gemini that ever lived. And yeah, this is all about me, basically, this presentation. No, I'm playing. But it's been feeling really good. Like I'm usually most interested in the new. Oh, sorry. Should we introduce ourselves before we launch into it? I'm Rain Lawrence, as you probably know, and I am a free birth doula, placenta encapsulation specialist, a tarot reader, an amateur astrologist. What else do I do? Amu, come on, help me
I'm
out.
gonna a whole leap.
A what?
A whole leap.
Oh, a holy, yes, exactly. Yeah, that'll do. People know me by now. Come on, y'all know me.
Well, yo, I realized we've been doing this for a whole year. We've been around a whole cycle.
Yeah, we have. We said we were going to do it.
Yeah. And basically, I do tarot reading, crochet design, and video editing, which we don't have this week. But anyways.
Yeah, so you probably saw that last moon I was alone, and I said I promised you that Amu would be by next moon, and she is. I also promised you that her internet issues would be resolved, which they aren't. So, I got it halfway.
Well, the internet issue is resolved. The problem we have now is my laptop charger, who is actually not functioning. Well, I have a next one tomorrow, so from tomorrow I might be able to do the editing again.
Okay, so I'm going to call it. Let's just write off 2023. I mean, I already spiritually and emotionally checked out of 2023, like probably 4 weeks ago. So by 2024, normal service will resume. But that's another that. You know who we are. Full moon in Gemini. Whoop, whoop. Yeah. I usually like the new moons much more. And I feel like optimism and excitement around those. But this time, this full moon feels like a new moon to me. And I wonder if it's because I've got quite a lot of Gemini in my chart. I've got a Gemini sun and moon. And just in general, this is quite a positive state. So there's a feeling of going deep this moon. I am not a particularly.
Are you hearing the engine in the background? This thing is bothering me.
I can't hear it. No.
Thank God. Okay.
um, yeah, there's a feeling of going deep. I'm quite a cerebral person, like rational, logical, not so emotive. But even I've been like tearful and sort of getting emotional, and just allowing that to pass through me, like whether it's sorrow or anger or longing, more so than usual. And it's about larger collective narratives they're painful distractions, yeah. So like the Gaza thing, the what else have we got at the moment that's like drawing people in, like maybe the American election that's like next year. Those don't necessarily impact your day-to-day life, but they're a painful distraction to take us away from really focusing on what's required of us individually. And I feel like this full moon it's not made that process easier, but it's made it more appealing. So I think we all know on some level that it's only inner work on oneself that's going to support the change in consciousness of the planet that we all want. But sometimes we're like, oh, but like, let me ignore that and pretend that going on a march or doing this, that, and the other is really what's needed, because then we can avoid doing the like deep, painful, boring stuff. So if we want the world to metamorphose, we have to begin with the connections to self. And this full moon's made that, like I say, it's not like that's easy to do ever, but at least there's an appetite for it and a desire for it around this moon. So on a personal note, I'll just explain how that's manifested in my life. So I have a bit of a self-worth issue and a self-sabotage issue. I'm sure loads of us do. It's not like unusual for humans to have that. But I was given an opportunity to speak at an event, and it was like a stretchy, growthy goal for me. I wasn't like, oh yeah, fine, I'll absolutely do that. It was a little bit like, you feel that restriction of like, oh my gosh, am I up to this? But I pushed through it, and I was pushing through it and like working and the self-sabotage was coming in, you know, I tried to like ensure that I failed so that I could be like, oh, well, I can't do it because X, you know. And the event was actually on Sunday, just yesterday. And even up to the last minute, you know, it was like, it was a close call as to whether I was going to self-sabotage or actually push through on it. And I didn't self-sabotage. I tried to like so many times and at so many different junctures, you know, and that's what I found really interesting. I think often I'll know that I could self-sabotage and avoid it, and then drop the ball and not avoid it. So then I do still end up self-sabotaging. But this time I was able to keep like my eyes on what my subconscious was trying to do. And I was like, there was a couple of times where I was like, oh, hang on, like this little fucker's here again. You know, I thought I was like over this, but he's come back and he's trying to self-sabotage again. So yeah, it's like something that we really have to focus on in every minute and every moment, every second of what, because it can get you at any time. Yeah. So we're required to focus on our own needs in this moon, and that means cultivating a connection to ourselves, yeah, and not worrying about what other people find important and what, you know, society tells us are valuable. We each have our own individual unique values, so stick true to them, not what everybody tells you should care about. I'm sure you've got lots to say on that, Emma. So do you want to jump in and I'll just check if there's anything else?
Yes, absolutely. I definitely feel connected with everything you just said. First of all, well, you particularly, you know already how Gemini as an air sign is really connected to their intellect and communication skills. And it's also a mutable sign, so resourceful and adaptable. And I feel like this energy coming with the full moon, it's like, so you know how full moon bring revelation and hints and points where you should look. So I feel like this Gemini moon is actually pointing us or helping us see clearly what's going on and communicate clearly what we have to communicate. You know, during this week, so I have people around me, they come to my door and I feed them because they're around me and they help me with other things. So I mean, I don't mind sharing food. I love food. And so the person come and they're like, oh, can I bring your plate back? And I'm like, yeah, no problem. And the person now bring back the plate. So the next day I have to go look for the plate and I'm like, where is my plate? You know, I live alone, so I have two plates in my house. If you take one plate, I have one plate left. And there's two of we at least eating there every day. So that cannot work. And then so basically I found the plate, but then I cannot find the fork. And then the person come back with the next fork and I'm like, where is my fork? I mean, the point is not that you left with the fork and you come back with the fork. The point is you left with something which is mine and you did not come back with it. It's like if I borrow your car and come back with the next car, would you like it? Especially when the car I come back with is cheaper and broken and all whatever for free. So I don't think you would be happy about it. So this is something that in the past I would have not speak up. I would have just said, "Oh, it's all right," and laugh about it. But today it's just making me upset. It's the kind of thing that to me it's a big disrespect. So I did have the chance to speak up. I took it, and now things are just better because nobody leave with my plate again.
Yes, yes. And that's the Gemini thing, isn't it? Like when we step into acceptance of who we are and the fact that, you know, that is important to you, we get this like formidableness of just like, nah, that no run, like you have to keep the boundaries strong, even on small things. Like, you know, it doesn't sound like crazy, you know, you could just let it slide, but if you do, you're less powerful.
Yeah, it's like one little thing that it's when you use the word powerful, it's like it's taking your power back. Just the fact that you speak up your truth, you're holding your power in both your hands. So it's a good thing.
Yes, and you know, of course, wider global issues take an interest in, but it's this tiny everyday work on ourselves that really changes things, like gently, slowly, gradually.
Yeah.
What else do you want to say about that? Anything? Because I've got some stuff on Neptune, if not.
Go for it.
Nice. So Neptune, so Mercury, which is the ruling planet of Gemini, is square to Neptune with this moon. So it's adding Neptune, if you don't know, is the planet of confusion and like chaos and just like tumultuous. It's the sea god. So imagine the ocean, you know, how crazy those waves are. That's what we get when Neptune, the planet, is at play. So you may find there's been confusion and like anger that comes with confusion. It's also about deception. So you might either have genuinely been deceived or feeling like you are, like, and trust that instinct. Yeah. You probably, like, you know, somewhere along the line, you are being deceived by someone. So if you feel that, try to sniff out where the deception's coming from rather than just be angry and paranoid about it. Like, try and sit with it and discover it. Misunderstandings in communication can happen under the Neptune influence. So try to, if you've got to have some like finicky conversations, then maybe wait till the full moon in Gemini is like done. So 3 days from now, the energies will have dissipated somewhat. Also, I think you would probably resonate with this, like thwarted plans with Neptune. So like thinking something's going to happen and then it all going tits up and you having to readjust and yeah, that kind of thing. Not going to plan is happening. I can't think. Is there something that's been like that for you? Because when I read it, I'm like,
Well, I mean, I've been back in Jamaica for a month now, and it's like nothing goes as planned. Um, I went on the road one day. I come back, the house flooded out. But when I left in the morning, no water was on the land. So like now, not only we have water, but there's so much water that the thing overflow, and there's water everywhere in my room.
Neptune. That's the Neptune. See,
Hi.
you've got an ocean of water right there.
Oh God, there are so many things happening every single time here. I mean, um, well, I I wasn't expecting to be at this place actually. I was expecting to have service, but I'm so deep that service phone don't get service here. And now I was expecting Wi-Fi to come in. I'm still waiting for Wi-Fi. Like I've been here for a month, so I don't know what's going on with the company, which I will not name, but
Yeah, don't blow them up. Don't blow them up.
let's say it's not flowing very, very well.
Fair enough. Yeah, also a bit of like you probably won't experience this because you're in a beautiful tropical island that's hot all year, but like the aches and pains, feeling heavy in the body, that's another symbol of like the thwarted plans and things being a bit sluggish. So if that's the case for you, there's a horrible like winter cough going around in England that everyone seems to have. So if that's something that you're experiencing, go for, you know, just buckle down to the old-fashioned like soups and teas and warm and keeping your heart and head and feet warm, you know, like just go back to the basics kind of thing with that.
Well, I mean, we could translate this by feeling comfortable. Can be a matter of comfort,
Yeah,
cozy.
cozy. And it's like again that idea of our boundaries and respect for oneself, you know, always make yourself comfortable because it's something you can easily do for yourself. So why not? It's like a form of self-love, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then Jupiter's got some stuff happening also. I'm trying to just scroll through my notes here to see what I'd come up with for this one. Play me out, Johnny.
Jupiter.
Yeah, just kind of sing a song about Jupiter while I. Oh, here we go. So Jupiter is this bountiful, expansive. So we've got the Jupiter energy and influence from the 8th of what month are we? It must be 8th of December to the all the way up to Yule, which is the 21st of December. So since Mercury will be going forward, then stationing, and then moving back again, most of the Mercury stuff sorry, I've confused myself. What am I talking about? Jupiter. Oh, yeah, sorry. So, wow. Yeah, so Mercury is going to be flip-flapping from stationary to direct. It's going to be in opposition to, it's going to be trine to Jupiter. So most of that mercurial stuff of communication, they're supported because they've got the Jupiter influence. So even though it's Mercury retrograde, we might have less of a tough time when it comes to the sorts of things that Mercury retrogrades bring, like miscommunications, errors with transport, errors with electronics. So that
Yeah, because Jupiter is the planet of luck, right?
I think Venus is love, but Jupiter's like expansion and joy and change, like unlimitedness. That's what I think about Jupiter. Yeah, but I mean, it's so broad what the planets mean that there'll be some love in there.
Jupiter is known as the planet of good fortune, expand opportunity, benefits within the house, loyalty, justice, confidence, wisdom.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, so that
everything goods, like all the goods. Jupiter represent all the goods.
exactly. Yeah, I love Jupiter. It looks beautiful as well. It's a really pretty planet.
So I feel like everything you mentioned about Mercury is going to be affected by Jupiter, like in a good on the good side of whatever you mentioned before.
Yeah, exactly. So Mercury is about communication and media and language and logic and rationality. So all of that has got a lovely Jupiter boost.
Yo, this is so aligned with the full moon.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, it's so beautiful, this stuff. Like it really just is a dance, all these planetary aspects. Moving nicely on to Mercury. So what else to say about Mercury? So the flowing aspects of all the retrograding and the Jupiter, they'll really support like frameworks and realistic plans and realistic like scaffolding around what we're trying to do. So if you felt like, oh, that dream that I have, it just isn't possible because I don't have the foundations, then that
Think
might
again.
sorry.
Think again. You
Yeah,
have the
yeah.
foundation.
You do have the foundation, especially now because Mercury is giving you logical, rational, like earthing underpinning for it. So it could be a potentially really productive time. I've certainly felt like I'm just like smashing off my goals and smashing off my to-do list and like things that felt untenable before. I'm now like, actually, like the
I feel
results and the knowledge required to change my perspective are like coming to me naturally. So I'm like, oh, actually, yeah, that person, and they've got this blog about how to do it. So, yeah, it can be done. So, yeah.
last week I went to, well, I wasn't supposed to be there. I just got there because I had to meet somebody, and then I realized it was like a PR meeting for like all them foreigners in Jamaica that want to, connect with other foreigners. So I was there and I realized all these ladies, well, of course they are really older than me. I mean, they've been working all their life and now they come here to, have live their best life for whatever time left. I'm not saying they're 80 years old or anything, but I'm a kid next to them. You understand what I mean? So like
digging their graves.
all of them wearing like proper clothes. It was outdoor things and on the beach, but it was still like proper fancy something. Them all look nice and them all have business card and flyer and fancy bag. And I'm here with my short and my crop top that I did crop with scissors all anyways. So like I don't have no business card because I didn't want to print them or anything, but and I felt so small. I was like, I'm not supposed to be there. I don't have anything to do there. But the truth is, I had my place there, and as much as I felt small, I am not small. And now that I think about it and I go back, I'm like, I I know I did a good impression because that's who I am, and this is how I am, and this is always the feedback I get from people. But yeah, at this moment, like I had to boost myself up to make sure that yo, you can be there. You're allowed to be there and you have your space there.
Absolutely. Yeah, you have to demand it, don't you? And demand it and command it. And Gemini has this kind of gift of the gab. You know, when we think about Gemini, it's the person who can, like, they're lawyers, they can talk rings around people, like they can talk the hind legs of a donkey. If you argue with a Gemini, you best believe you're going to lose. Perhaps if unless you're an Aquarius, maybe. I'm not saying definitely, but maybe an
Like
Aquarius.
Gemini and Taurus, now it's a big fight.
So
Like,
yeah,
who's gonna win? Funny.
you can just fake it till you make it with the Gemini influence. Yeah, they're just like, no, I deserve to be here, and I can show
Exactly.
you why. I can just play and show you why. You know. Yeah, good. I hope you get some clients out of that. Was that why you were there, to try and kind of?
Oh, no, not at all. I was just meeting a friend that told me that they were going there. I had to exchange something with her, and she's like, "I'm there." So I'm like, "Okay, I'm coming." And when I reached, I realized that it was an event, and I'm like,
It's like, this ragamuffin.
if I knew, I would have get prepared. I would have bring business cards and things so I could actually um, distribute them.
Yeah, presentation is key. But I'm sure
It's
you
funny
made
because I
big.
like 2 3 women that actually does tarot and runes and things, and so we had a discussion about it. But it's not like um they're not doing it as a business or like they're doing it for themselves or for family. It's not like
Yeah,
they are making something out of it.
nice.
Yeah.
So there's also this Mars Saturn thing going on. So I've got some notes about that as well. So the Mars Saturn cycle begins in Capricorn, and as we know, Capricorn's like this very hardworking, tenacious, like never gives up kind of sign, Earth sign. So very much material action. So the Mars Saturn there will be able to gain some structure and create the agendas and form new goals. So if, like I mentioned, if you felt like it was impossible, now it's like, oh, actually, if I could tweak the goal, that would be more possible or more achievable. So as Capricorn, the Mars Saturn moves from Capricorn into Sagittarius, you can like review the broader vision, because Saggies are really kind of more fiery, so you'd get a bit more ambition and passion once the Mars Saturn goes from Capricorn to Sag.
I don't know when this is happening, but I can definitely feel that.
Yeah, I think it's like middle of December time, but yeah, it's obviously always changing, isn't it? And as a Gemini, I always feel like I'm a little bit ahead of the curve, because we are very like, futuristic people. We like the newest gadget and things like that. So I feel like everything.
Like December is gonna be more um fulfilling for me
Yeah.
than November, because there been like a lot of adjustment, and now I feel like it's like I took the curve and now I can go on a straight line.
Yeah, 100%. I feel like this time of year often, but it's stronger feeling now of just like tie up the loose ends and just push forward towards that 2024. That's
What's
just
coming? Yeah.
big. So I think that's all I really had for Mars Saturn. And what else is going on? It's Venus. Yeah.
Yeah.
So 5th of December, Venus moves into Scorpio. And on the 9th and 10th of December, she's forming an opposition with Jupiter. So oppositions can sometimes be a bit dicey, but because it's Jupiter, might not be so bad. So the 9th of December is a particularly good day for Venusian things. So like art, lovemaking, affairs of the heart, romance, painting, any way that you feel like luxurious and passionate and comfortable. These are all Venusian things. And just kind of with Scorpio thing, I'd say it's just adding this smoothness and a opportunity for reconciliation, good communication, and a little bit of like fantasy. So yeah, try to utilize all of the good Venusian stuff from the 5th of December onwards. So like taking pleasure, sorting your love life, things like that.
Can tell you that it's Christmas month, you know, so a lot of gathering, a lot of family, a lot of love, you know.
Exactly. Yeah, I feel really loved up actually at the moment. Like I'm not usually like that, and I was wondering if it was like the oxytocin as I'm approaching a bleed, but I think it's all of this, like, you know, the sort of astrological, cosmological stuff as well, on top of the bloods nearly coming. Awesome. I just realized we didn't have a ceremonial part this week, this moon. Crazy. Oh well, maybe we'll do a little short video for you.
I can talk about what I'm planning to do for this full moon as a ritual. I want to make a money ritual to attract abundance, but mostly tangible gain, you know, not necessarily in the form of money, but like it could be someone take you out for lunch, or it could be um well, it's Christmas, so best believe you're gonna receive gifts and things from people around you. So, you know, it's just put out the energy to be able to attract even more. So this is my plan. So I'm gonna use green candle. I'm gonna use cinnamon. I'm gonna use I have this money salt I made. I think I'm not sure if I'm gonna make, like, you know, this ritual with the candle and you just watch it burn, or if I'm gonna do like a spell jar, one or the other. I'll probably put this as content on Instagram or I mean TikTok, YouTube. We'll see. We'll see.
Nice. We've got our
So
tarot reading element at least. We always
yeah.
look forward to this. So what's going on?
Well, first of all, we have the Lover's card. So Gemini is associated with the Lover's card, and most people think that the Lover's card is about love. Well, I guess it could be about love, but in this case, I just feel like it's all about duality. It's all about the good and the bad and what is necessary. But most of it, the choice you can and have to make. So, you know, when we think about the story, this image just remind me about the Eden Garden and Adam and Eve, and it's like you have a choice here. You can eat all them fruit, but there's this one. I don't suggest that you eat it, but they still made a choice because they had a choice. You know, when you have a choice, you make a choice, and then you assume whatever come after. So the focus on this card really is choice. In the matter of the things you love, you have decision to take based on logic or intuition. And in a relationship, most of the time, you know, we use logic and we use love to take decision. But on a day-to-day basis, we most of the time use our heads, Gemini, you know. So yeah, relationship are not necessarily logic. We make logical choices based on love emotion, which is a fairy, you know. So, anyways, the Lover's card is about having a choice to make. So I feel like when it's time to choose, always taking the decision or the path that is aligned with your higher self will, of course, lead you way further in life, and you will feel way more aligned again with your higher self. So peace of mind. Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. Because I've only just noticed the Garden of Eden element. Is this just in this deck, or is that quite a traditional like imagery for the lovers?
Which part?
You know that it's like the Garden of Eden and the snake and the apple.
Oh yeah, no, it's quite classic.
That's it.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
and you see like there's clouds in the background to symbolize like I mean the road is can be cloudy, so even if you have many choice, the answer is not always clear. But when you take the answer that reason best within yourself, well, I mean, the path is getting clearer, and you see how there's a mountain in the background. So basically, no mountain is too big because you have the choice to see it as too big or see it as, oh, if I reach this level, then I'm way closer than to the top. Exactly.
Yeah, that's
So,
great. Like when you talked about the duality, it reminded me of that I don't know if it's like a little tale or a fable, but you know, there's this idea of like there's two wolves that live in each of us, and like one's, you know, one of them's gonna live and one of them's not. And it's like, which one is it? It's the one you feed. So I love that. And I like wolves, so that's it's unsurprising. But like that idea that all we need to do to be better and to achieve is just make the right choice that's aligned every time. So it makes it easier because it's not this massive sprawling goal. It's like moment by moment. And it's reminded me of you know, what I was experiencing with the imposter syndrome around this talk that I was having. It was just an incremental choose not self-sabotage every time. Choose to, you know, do some work rather than watch a show. Choose to email them back rather than not email back. You know, it's like tiny little things that big thing.
like
Lovely.
which way or what decision you have to take in order for you to come closer to your ideal outcome, to your little paradise, to your peace of mind, basically.
Exactly. Because we can all do that once, you know. We can all say, oh, I'm not going to go and buy some chocolate if we're trying to lose weight once. But if you do it once and then you do it once and then you do it once and then you do it once, next thing you know, 3 months later, you've lost 10 pounds, you know. So,
Yeah.
all right, we've got less than a minute. So I don't know, should we just come back? Because I think we still want to just say goodbye to you guys properly and maybe just tie up some loose ends. So we can come.
Well,
Oh no, hang on, no, we can't
gonna
because
post it
we're
as
uploading.
is.
Yeah,
So
we're just uploading as is. Sorry, ignore me. No editing.
okay,
Okay.
bye. See you in 2 weeks.
Okay. We love you. The next lunation is probably around December sometime. So we'll see you then.
Ah,
Chaos, the chaos of Neptune. Yes.
yay.
Loads of love. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching, and we'll talk to you soon.
Like, share, subscribe.
Like, share, subscribe. There we go. That's the takeaway from this.
True.